Students, myself is Dr. Pinkesh Suttaria, working as an assistant professor at Department of Chemistry, Bhavans College, Dakor. So, as we have started inorganic chemistry, unit number 4, that is metal carbonyl. Okay, so we have completed all the structure of mononuclear carbonyl as well as the dinuclear carbonyl. Now in today's lecture we will again summarize the things with the preparation of metal carbonyl. So I have already explained you, but let us revise this thing again. Preparation of metal carbonyl. Okay, so this is the most important question as far as your exam point of view. In examination they will ask a long question, that is preparation of metal carbonyl or explain the metal carbonyl or introduction the metal carbonyl, then after the what we can say reaction of metal carbonyl. So these are the two long questions they can ask from the metal carbonyl chapter. So let us understand by its preparation. So first of all, in this preparation, let us start with the direct synthesis. Okay, what do you mean by the direct synthesis? Direct synthesis, that is mean by that when you are having directly metal as well as the carbonyl ligand at particular temperature, that is 200 degrees Celsius and 100 atmospheric pressure, you can generate FeCO5. Here we are having 5 CO, so you can put over here 5 CO. Okay, now second one, suppose if you are having Ni, nickel as a metal, when we are reacting with the 4 CO under room temperature at 100 atmospheric pressure, okay, you can also generate NiCO4. Okay, next one, suppose if you are having cobalt as a metal, here I am having a CO. When I am reacting with the 200 degrees Celsius at 100 atmospheric pressure, okay, I can generate CO2, CO8. Here I am having 2 CO, so I have to put over 2 CO. So this is the direct preparation of FeCO5, NiCO4 and CO2, CO8. Now only NiCO4 and FeCO4 and CO2, CO8 are normally obtained by the action of CO on the finely divided metal at suitable temperature and pressure. So this is finely divided metal. Finely divided metal means we are having a crushed powder of this Fe, Ni and CO metal. Okay, so this is the direct synthesis of FeCO5, NaCO4 and CO2, CO8. Okay, now let us understand second, preparation by the reducing agent. Okay, preparation of metal carbonyl via reducing agent. So here you can put down one heading, reducing agent. Okay, so what is reducing agent? Suppose when I'm talking about the NaBH4 or lithium aluminum hydride, they are reducing agent. They can do the reduction of reactant, but by themselves they will oxidize. Okay, so that you have to remember that reducing agent will do the reduction of the reactant, whereas oxidize oxidize itself, so it will have the reduction power or reduction of any reactant but oxidized itself. Okay, so that is the power of the reducing agent. So now let us understand how we can use the reducing agent. We can use the reducing agent like ruthenium iodide, or we can have CrCl3, VCl3, cobalt sulfide, CoCO3, okay, COI2, etc. Now they are treated with the CO in presence of suitable reducing agent also, like Mg. These are not the reducing, this is a metal salt. Okay, these are the metal salt, sorry, this is known as metal salts. Okay, now in the presence of reducing agent like Mg, that is Ag, Cu, sodium, H2, or lithium aluminum hydride. Okay, by presence of these two we can produce a metal carbonyl. So now let us understand metal carbonyl preparation by using a reducing agent. So let us start with our first example. Suppose if we are having CrCl3 in presence of CO. Okay, reducing agent we are using here, that is lithium aluminum hydride. Here we are having 115 degrees Celsius temperature, then after 70 atmospheric pressure, okay, you can easily produce CrCO6, okay, by the removal of the lithium chloride as well as the AlCl3. Okay, now when you do the balancing over here I am having 6CO, so I can put over here 6CO. So by that way, by using this metal salt in presence of reducing agent, okay, we are also having a CO group, CO as a ligand, you can produce a CrCO6. So let us take one more example. Suppose if we are having ruthenium iodide in presence of 10CO, okay, 6Ag, this you have to balance at the end of the reaction. Okay, 175 degrees Celsius and 250 atmospheric pressure. What you have to look down over here, I am using metal salt in the presence of reducing agent. CO is there, so you can produce a RuCO5. Now these RuCO5 by the removal of 6AgI. Okay, that is known as ruthenium. Ruthenium comes under the Fe family, FeRuOs. Here we are having 4s2 3d6, so this will be 5s2 4d6. Okay, this will be 6s2 5d6. Okay, but the thing is that you have to remember that total 8 number of electrons are there. So here if I want to calculate the ruthenium CO4 18 electron role, how can I calculate ruthenium? That will be having 8 electron, 1 CO will give 2 electrons, so 5 CO will give the 10 electron. So here we can have 8 electron. That means that FeCO5, or we can have RuCO5, or we can have OsCO5. These three are obeying the electron rule. That you have to remember. In examination, they will not ask the simple question like calculate the EAN or electron rule for FeCO5. They will ask you RuCO5 or OsCO5. So by that way you can calculate. Okay, this is not in the question, but I have explained you this thing. Okay, so now let us understand one more example for the reducing agent. Suppose if we are having OsCO5, okay, that is OSO5, sorry, OSO5 plus when we are reacting with the 5CO in the presence of 250 degrees Celsius under 350 atmospheric pressure. Okay, so at that time we can produce OSCO5 plus by the removal of twice O2. Okay, so this is the O2. Here I can put over here twice O2. Okay, so here I am having 5O, so you can also put down over 2.5. Okay, you can also put down a 2.5 O2. So by the balancing of the oxygen, so you can have a 5O here, and here I am also having a 5O, osmium, 5CO, 5CO. So by that way we can prepare OSCO5. Let us understand one more example. Suppose if we are having cobalt iodide, okay, in presence of 8CO, in presence of copper as a reducing agent. So when we are reacting with the 200 degrees Celsius at 200 atmospheric pressure, Okay, so we can produce CO2 CO8. Here we are having CO2 CO8, that is metal carbonyl, and by the removal of the 4CuI, copper iodide. So by that way you can produce metal carbonyl via using a reducing agent. So let us take one more example for the preparation of metal carbonyl. So third preparation, so there is a third part how we can prepare a metal carbonyl. So preparation of MoCO6 and WCO6, okay, from FeCO5. So now these MO and molybdenum and tungsten both are in the chromium family. So chromium, which is having a 4s2 3d4. So there are outermost orbital electrons, 6 electrons are there. Okay. So you have to remember this thing also. CrCO6 as well as MoCO6 as well as the WCO6. Okay, these all are having 6 electron in the outermost orbital. So 6 here we are having 6 ligand carbonyl, so we can put over here 12 electron. So by that way we can have a 18 electron. Okay, so these three are following the 18 electron rule. Okay, so this is the side thing that you have to remember for 1 marker question. Okay, so now in this question I have to prepare MoCO6 as well as the WCO6 by using FeCO5. So when we are having molybdenum salt like MoCOCl6, okay, when we are using FeCO5, what will happen? This Cl ligand will be replaced by the CO ligand. Simple. So here you have to remember that MoCO6. Okay, here I am having FeCl2 as a byproduct as well as the CO. Okay, so I have to balance over here. So what I have to do over here, I have to put over 3Fe. Here I have to put 3FeCl2. Okay, so here I am having 3 5s are 15. So here I am having 6 CO. So I have to put 9 CO over here. So by that way you can balance over here. Similar way, when we are having tungsten WCl6, when we are using FeCO5, okay, here I am having 110 degrees Celsius as well as ether as a solvent. Here also I am having 110 degrees Celsius temperature, ether as a solvent. So what I have to prepare WCO6 by the removal of the thrice FeCl2 plus 9CO. Okay, 9CO. Okay, so that you have to remember. Okay, so here I am using MoCl6 WCl6. By using FeCO5 I can produce a WCO6 as well as the MoCO6. Here I can also put down over here 3. Okay, so that is the third method how we can prepare a metal carbonyl via using FeCO5. Okay, so now let us understand fourth method how we can prepare a metal carbonyl. So preparation of, that is heading of preparation of Fe2CO9 and OS2, okay, CO9, okay, from FeCO5. So let us start preparation of Fe2CO9 and OS2CO9 from FeCO5. So in this, when we are having a cool solution of FeCO5 and OSCO5 in glacial acetic acid, it is irritated with the ultraviolet violet, Fe2CO9 and OS2CO9 are obtained. So here I am having what we can say FeCO5. Okay, when I dissolve this molecule in glacial acetic acid, okay, that is glacial acetic acid, by and irritated under the UV light. Okay, so what will happen? The dimerization is taken place. So Fe will be converted into Fe2 and CO5 will be converted to CO9. by the removal of the CO. Okay, here I am not preparing Fe2CO10, I am preparing Fe2CO9 by the removal of the CO. So similar way we can prepare OSCO5 under similar condition, that is under irradiated under the UV light. So we can produce OS2CO9 by the removal of the CO. So these Fe2CO9, as we have already studied in our structural properties of Fe2CO9. So by that way you can also produce OS2CO9. So these are the four general method how we can produce a metal carbonyl. So first method, that is what we can say, direct method. Okay, that we have already seen. Second method, we are having reducing agent by using a reducing agent. Okay, third method, that is by using what we can say MOCl6, okay, or MOCO6 preparation of, and WCO6 using FeCO5, and last one, that is by using FeCO5 under UV light. Okay, under UV light you can produce Fe2CO9 as well as the OS2CO9. So by that way we can prepare a metal carbonyl. Okay, now we will see the properties of metal carbonyl. Properties of metal carbonyl. So in properties of metal carbonyl, we will first see the physical property. Okay, the physical property means its color, state, okay, melting point, boiling point, etc. So in physical property, most carbonyls are volatile solid. Okay, so most of the metal carbonyl are volatile solid, but FeCO5, ruthenium CO5, as well as OSCO5 and NiCO4, okay, they are in liquid temperature. They are in liquids at ordinary temperature. Okay, that you have to remember. Fe, Ru, Os and NiCO4, they are liquid at ordinary temperature and quite inflammable. Inflammable means what we can say, it can not easily burn. Okay, flammable means it can easily burn. Inflammable means it can not easily burn. So that is inflammable. So many of these decompose or melt at low temperature. So it can easily decompose and melt at room temperature. Many of the metal carbonyls are those which can easily decompose and melt at room temperature. That is the second point. Third point, they are soluble in organic solvent. Okay, soluble in organic solvent. Organic solvent means benzene, acetone. They are organic solvent. They can easily soluble in organic solvent. Okay, NiCO4. Okay, NiCO4. It is insoluble in water. So that you have to prepare your notes by according to this. So you first of all, that is volatile solid, FeCO5, RuCO5, OSCO5, NiCO4 are liquid at ordinary temperature and inflammable, decompose and melt at room temperature, soluble in organic solvent, and in NiCO4, that is insoluble in water. Okay, so all carbonyls except let us write over here, all carbonyls except, okay, VCO6, okay, are dimagnetic substance. As we have already seen in our structural point of view, all the metal carbonyls we have already studied, there are dimagnetic substance. Okay, metal with the odd atomic number coupled with the odd electron to form a metal-metal bond. Probably the steric factor prevents VCO6 from the dimerization. So what we have taken, that suppose if we are having odd number of, okay, metal when it combines together with the odd electron, okay, so they can produce what we can say a metal bond. Okay, as we have already studied in Mn2CO10, then after we have studied CO2 CO8, then after we have studied about the Fe2CO9. In Mn2CO10 we can have a 25 number, this is 26 number, this is 26 number, but it is exception, so we can produce a bridge carbonyl over here. Okay, in this we are having a bridge carbonyl, but in both the cases we are having a metal bond. So by that way this is having a 25 odd number, and there is even number, odd number coupled with the odd electrons, so they can produce a metal bond. So by that way we can have the physical properties of the metal carbonyl. Okay, so now let us understand the chemical property. So in examination they can directly ask a question like this: write down the physical properties of the metal carbonyl, or write down the chemical properties of the metal carbonyl. So first of all let us understand the chemical property. So first one, it can undergoes a substitution reaction. Okay, what is substitution reaction? By the reaction, let us understand by the substitution reaction. Suppose if we are having NiCO4, okay, when we are reacting with the PCl3, okay, so it can produce this Cl replace the CO group, and this CO will remove from the reacting material, so that is known as a substitution reaction. So here I am having Ni that is replaced by PCl3, okay, by the removal of the 4CO, so that we can call as a substitution. Okay, here I am having a PCl3, that is our ligand that is attached with the NiCO will be removed, so that is known as substitution reaction. Okay, so you can have this type of example. Suppose if I are having a NiCO4, let us take one more example. NiCO4, when we are having CNR group, okay, when it undergoes substitution reaction, what will happen? This CNR replace the CO group over here, so NiCNR by the removal of the 4CO, so that is known as substitution reaction. Okay, so let us take one more example, that is action of NaOH. Action of NaOH. Okay, NaOH or Na metal, sodium metal or sodium hydroxide. Okay, so formation of carbonate anion. Aqueous or alcoholic solution of NaOH reacts with the FeCO4 to form a carbonate anion. Let us take example over here. Suppose if we are having FeCO5, okay, when we are reacting with the NaOH, what will happen over here? So FeCO5, that is sodium plus over here, here I am having H plus, Fa2 as a minus charge, CO4, one CO will be removed from the reactive material, here I am having a minus charge, here I can produce Na2CO3, and by the removal of the H2O. Okay, so by that way you can calculate this thing. Fe2 minus, that means it is having a 2 minus oxidation state, that is a CO4 minus charge, that means electron extra. Okay, you can also calculate by this way. Here H plus is having 1 electron, okay, so that is having 8 electron. Fe2 minus 6 plus 2, 4s2 3d6. Okay, this reaction you can also say that suppose if you are having a sodium metal, what will happen? Sodium metal will give Na plus plus electron. Okay, by similar way you can have Na plus and electron minus charge. Okay, so you are removing CO, so here I am having H plus, so Fe2CO4, you can produce Na2CO3 and H2O. So that is the reaction of NaOH with the sodium metal. Okay, by that way you can also have this type of structure. Suppose if you are having CrCO6, let's say we are having CrCO6, when we are reacting with the sodium metal, what will happen over here? So here I can produce Na2 plus, okay, so Na2 plus Cr will be in plus 2 oxidation 2 minus, that is Cr2 minus. Here I am having CO5, okay, here I am having 2 minus charge, that is CO. So here also I am having CrCO6. When we are reacting with the sodium metal, what will happen? Na plus electron. So Na plus electron. So I can balance over here. So 2 minus and 2 minus 2 minus. Here I am having CO5. CO will be removed from the reacting material. So by that way you can produce what we can say ion charge, that is Fe2 minus or Cr2 minus by the reaction of the NaOH or sodium metal. Okay, now let us understand one more example. Okay, suppose when we are having a halogen that is reacted with the carbonyl, what will happen over here? So reaction of halogen, or we can say reaction with the halogen, okay, of metal carbonyl. So let us take one more example, that is FeCO5. When it is reacted with the halogen, what will happen? That is FeCO4 into X2, that is one CO will be removed, so CO. So here I can also calculate the total electron, that is 8. Here also 8. One halogen will give 1 electron, so 2 halogen will give 2 electrons, so that will be the 8 electron ring. Okay, so here you can remember that one CO will give 2 electron, so these 2 halogen also give the 2 electron. So by that way you can replace this thing. So here suppose if I am having let's say NiCO4, okay, let's say NiCO4, when it is reacted with the Br2 molecule, what will happen over here? So here I can produce NiBr2, okay, plus 4CO. Now these NiBr2 4s2 4s2 3d8 total 10 electrons are there. Here I am having 12, so 2 electrons are there, total 12 electrons. So this is not, we can say, following the Redondo rule, but we can produce NiBr2 by the reaction of NiCO4. Okay, so here I can put these two reaction, FeCO5 or NiCO4. In examination you can also write down one of these equation for the preparation of the reaction of the metal carbonyl with the halogen. So now let us take one more example, that is action of nitrosyl. Now this nitrosyl part we have not covered over here, so let us see this example, then after in the last segment of our this unit 4 you will see the nitrosyl. This NO, that is known as nitrosyl, you have to remember that. These many carbonyl react with the nitric oxide. This is a nitric oxide to form a metal carbonyl, okay, metal carbonyl nitrosyl. So when this combined with the metal, okay, with the positive charge or unipositive charge, that is known as metal nitrosyl group. So here I am having FeCO5. FeCO5, when it is reacted with the nitric oxide, let's say twice NO and 95 degrees Celsius, what will happen over here? Fe, here I am having CO2, that is reacted with the NO2, okay, by the removal of the 3CO. Okay, so by the removal of the 3CO, so that is FeCO2 or NO2. Okay, so here I am having FeCO2 plus 3CO. So that is our product FeCO2 and NO2. So by the removal of the 1 CO we can introduce 2 NO over here. Okay, let us take one more example. Let us take CO2 CO8 example over here. When it is reacted with the nitric oxide in presence of 40 degrees Celsius, so we can produce CO3, okay, plus NO group over here by the removal of the CO. Okay, you can balance over here, there is 2 3 and here I am also having 2. So here I am not having CO3, that one of the nitrosyl group will attack over here, so it will break down the metal carbonyl group, metal bond. So here I am having a CO ligand, a CO metal atom, CO3 as well as the NO. So by that way you can have a action with the nitrous oxide. So by that way this is known as metal nitrosyl. This is our last topic. We will cover this topic at the end of this unit, that is metal nitrosyl. Okay, so here NO, that is known, if it is attached with the metal, it is known as metal nitrosyl. Okay, now let us understand one more example, that is with the reaction, what we can say under the heating condition, what will happen for the metal carbonyl. Okay, so let us take one more example, fourth one, that is action of heat. Okay, or in a thermal condition what will happen. So suppose if we are having FeCO5 symbol, when it is reacted with the 250 degrees Celsius, what will happen? Fe plus 5CO will be generated. If we are having Fe3CO12, okay, when it is reacted with the 140 degrees Celsius, okay, so now this Fe3CO12 it converted into the thrice Fe plus 12CO. Okay, suppose if you are having NiCO4, when it is reacted with the 180 degrees Celsius, so here you can put Ni plus 4CO. Okay, so by that way there is the action of heat. So this is the symbol NiCO4 FeCO5, as we have already studied in preparation of metal carbonyl. So by that way from product to reactant you can also produce this thing. Okay, so now let us take with the last example, the action with H2. Okay, what will happen by the reaction of the H2 symbol, what we can say, one take metal carbon, that is Mn2CO10, when it is reacted with the H2 at 200 atmospheric pressure, what will happen over here? So here I am having my minus charge CO5, okay, H plus, and zero oxidation state. Here I am putting twice because of the two metal atom. So what will happen over here? Minus charge, that is MnCO5 plus H plus. So when I calculate this thing, Mn minus mean one electron is more. So Mn, which is having 4s2 3d5, total 7 electron. Because of the minus charge I can put over here 1 CO5, so that will be the 10 electron. So here I can put 7 plus 1 8, 8 plus 10 18. H plus, hydrogen which is having what we can say, hydrogen which is having 1 electron, but if I put over here positive charge, 1 electron will be less. So here I am having 7 plus 1 for the Mn and 10 electron from the CO. So here I can put over here 18 electron. So this compound is following 8 electron rule. By the reaction of Mn2CO10 with the H2, it can produce Mn minus charge CO5H plus. So this is all we can say, chemical properties of the metal carbonyl. So I have completed this preparation in this lecture, as well as the properties of metal carbonyls. So in this chapter we have only left with the metal nitrosyl. Okay, so this is the last theory that we will see in the next lecture. I hope you like this video. Thank you for watching it.